Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Have I got an awesome, absolutely awesome video for you guys today. Today, we're going to talk about the big question that always comes up. Will we see $100 silver? I don't only think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen within the next year or two. But this is just my opinion, not financial advice. And I'm going to show you guys some numbers today on why I feel the way that I feel. I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that silver gets used in, some of the technologies that are growing, and some of the technologies that are brand new and not even unveiled. They're researching it right now. Major items like EV car batteries, Samsung batteries for your cell phones. Everybody that's got a problem with electronic vehicles or phones, it's always, I don't like waiting for it to charge up. People don't want to wait hours and hours for their car to charge up. They want instant. And with that being said, I think the only way to get instant is going to be with some kind of silver state battery. And with that, increasing demand on silver, maybe it won't be for everyday people. Maybe it will just be for the rich, but either way, I think that we're going to see it continue to climb. And I think a lot of people, when it comes to the cell phones, let's just say you think about how big a battery is in a cell phone. Let's just say it was made out of pure silver. I mean, what is it, 2 ounces? Do you really think at today's prices it's going to matter if there's 2 ounces of silver in your cell phone? I think it's going to drive the price a whole lot higher. Again, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. With that being said, we're going to talk about that today. Can silver hit $100? If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, hit that subscribe, and please hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are trying to grow the channel. So, okay, so right off the bat, what brought this video up? Well, what brought this video up was I bumped into an old acquaintance of mine that he details vehicles on the side. And I had seen him, and I got talking to him for a little bit, and I said, hey, remember when I offered you 7 ounces of silver to detail my car, and you didn't take it? He said, I do remember that. He said it was worth like $100. I said, yep, it was $15 an ounce at the time, and 7 ounces, about $100. He said he would not detail my car for that. He charges $200, and that's it. Today, those 7 ounces, you'd be lucky to pick them up for $350. What happened? Well, silver continued to climb in value. And detailing vehicles did not climb that much. Why? Because that's a labor thing and it's a side hustle thing. So some people are willing to do it cheaper because they need money to pay their bills. The silver continued to climb. I've actually done short videos where I've talked about that. 7 ounces for 100, then 6, then 5, then 4, then 3. Today, you can probably maybe get 2 ounces for $100. It might be a little over, but not much over. And I think a time is going to come where you're going to get 1 ounce for $100. What am I basing that off of? I'm basing that off of some of the numbers that we're going to go over today. So with that being said, let's jump in and get started. Before I get started too much, I want to take a look at the silver price right this minute. We got silver right now trading at $48.01. We have the futures price trading at $47.85. Not much of backwardation there, a 16 cents difference between the futures and the current spot price. We'll see how this plays out in the near term. I'm still looking for opportunities, looking for deals right now if I can find them. I'm willing to pretty much pick up whatever kind of silver, with a few exceptions that of certain types of stuff that I don't like and won't bring into my house. Taking a quick look at the gold price, we got the gold price right now at $3,983. Down a little bit, not as down as silver. Silver has came down. It's struggling right around that 48, but I'm convinced personally that it's only struggling temporarily because the entities, the big companies, are buying up silver right now. They're positioning themselves. They don't want the price to go up until they got theirs. Whether it's a bank whether it's an industrial company, whether it's a solar company, whether it's a country like China or the U.S. wanting to build up a silver strategic stockpile reserve. Who knows? A lot of demand for silver right now is out there. And so silver has been beat down, and a lot of that beat down comes down to manipulation. Some people deny manipulation. They think it's not real. I think it is real. I think there's no doubt in my mind that if JP Morgan got fined almost $1 billion for manipulation, it makes sense that it happens out there. With that being said, moving on to Bitcoin. We got Bitcoin taking a pretty big hit this week, down to 107,000 roughly, as it is far off of its high now, continuing to drop. One of the interesting things that happened earlier today, we did have silver drop to the 7th spot, and Amazon moved up to the 6th spot. Now, why did this happen? Keep in mind, silver right now is being priced at the 47.88. You can't buy silver at 47.88, but yet they're saying that's what it's at. And therefore, that's how it's priced into this assets based on market capitalization. So, above silver, well, we have gold number 1, Nvidia number 2, Apple number 3, Microsoft number 4. It looks like we could even see Microsoft and Apple possibly switch. They are getting closer lately. Alphabet or Google at 5th. And then Amazon at 6th, followed by silver, and then Bitcoin. We'll see how this plays out. Taking a quick look at the U.S. debt, we are sitting right now at $38 trillion in debt. $38 trillion. That means they're continuing to print money. As they continue to print money, it's inevitable that probably everything will go up in price, most likely. And with everything being including gold, silver, real estate, food, everything that we buy is slowly working up. Are there some exceptions to the rule? There's always going to be some exceptions to the rule, but we'll see how it plays out. DXY right now sitting at 99.87. It was actually over 100 today, yesterday. And a lot of people looking at that thinking, oh, the dollar's strengthening. We better hurry up and get out of commodities, because as the dollar goes stronger, people will want to sell their commodities to the United States to get our dollars. However, my opinion, every currency that's made out of paper, every fiat currency is also falling in value. So the next thing I want to take a quick look at is how many different items. A lot of people don't realize how much stuff is used in making silver. I'm sorry, how many different items are made using silver? So right off the bat, the first thing we'll look at here is just go over a basic overlook of all the different things that we use silver in. So computers, smartphones, silver is used in circuit boards, electrical contacts, switches, semiconductors, RFID chips, those tags which are used to inventory tracking, often have antennas made with sprayed on silver ink. I didn't know that, actually. Batteries, silver oxide, silver zinc batteries, silver oxide batteries, also used in watches, hearing aids, aerospace applications due to the high capacity and long life. Which is another thing. How many people have bought a cell phone or a computer and the battery goes out before the item? I can tell you right now, my cell phone battery will not last me 8 hours. But I've had that cell phone for a while. I have a newer cell phone that I don't take out of my house. I just keep it on my desk at home. It's a whole part of a plan. They had some kind of a plan. They were running like four phones for $100. It was cheaper than having 3, so we just added another one on there. Renewable energy, the growing green energy sector, particularly solar panels, are a major source of demand for silver right now. Electronic vehicles, silver-coated contacts are used in the switches, the connections, every electrical function in modern cars, including starting the engine and adjusting the power seats. So think about that. Solar is becoming higher and higher in demand for a lot of different stuff, including medicine, I can't pronounce that word, properties, it's not bacteria, but you get the gist of it. Properties of silver have been made. It's a valuable tool in medical applications, surgery equipment, wound care, implants. A lot of that stems from, remember in the old days, silver was a huge item. It was really popular for people, recognized it as antibacterial properties. And I've even heard stories that in the old days they would actually put a silver coin in a jug of milk, and it would keep it from growing bacteria in there or going bad, essentially. Jewelry, decorative items. Now this, we still use a lot. In fact, some people will say we use less silver in jewelry, silverware, and that type of stuff. However, I would make the argument there's actually more. And the reason I would say that is gold is getting outpriced for most people. A lot of people can't afford gold jewelry. I've actually seen a few people switch over to silver jewelry, silver rings, silver necklaces. I actually picked up a silver necklace the other day. Super awesome deal. I was like, hey, $1 a gram. It's a pretty necklace. It's worth it to me. So I ended up picking it up. Sterling silver 925 silver alloys used in rings, bracelets, necklace, and other accessories. So here's the thing with that too. Right now, a lot of people have opportunities to pick up 925 sterling silver at under spot because a lot of the refineries aren't buying this stuff back because they're backlogged, because the silver price has gone up so high. A lot of people that are not in the knowledge of silver and what's going on in the world, they're selling their silver. They're selling their jewelry. They're selling whatever they got. They're taking it in. It's getting bought by, companies. But now these companies are stuck sitting on it because they can't sell it to the refineries because they're so backlogged. This is an opportunity for you to pick it up at a pretty good price. Silverware, cutlery, serving dishes, decorative bowls have been made in silver alloys for centuries. Now, this is something, I don't think it's a heavy use today. Are there still silver stuff out there? Yes, there are. Are there still rich people that like silver as dishes and stuff because it's pretty, it looks good? Yes. People still do buy that. However, it's usually for weddings or that special events or that type of stuff, maybe big Christmas gatherings, whatever the case may be. I actually was digging through some of my junk, and I found the old wedding cake that from my my marriage a long, long time ago. That basically, it was made out of silver. It was a little tray cutting, like cake cutting, and I don't know, it had 2 items in it. I don't know, like a spatula or something. I don't know, some kind of a triangular spatula and a little cake knife. So there is a lot out there, but people still buy that stuff. Industrial manufacturing, brazing and soldering, catalysts, and engine bearings. So a lot of people don't know about the soldering one. I actually had, when I was remodeling one of my properties, I was pulling down the sheetrock, and there was a nail that went through a water pipe in one of the walls. And when I pulled it, it started basically squirting a small, it was just a little nail that went in and just sat in there. And essentially when I pulled it out, it basically popped out of the pipe, and it had been in there for years. It was all green. It had already been kind of sealed in, and that was it. But when I pulled it out, it popped that hole. I called up a buddy of mine that knows plumbing, didn't know what to do. I said, "Hey, what can I do, dude?" And he came over, and he pulled out what looked like a couple little, I don't know what you call them. I'm not going to call them welding rods, but they were little soldering rods, I guess you'd say. And when I looked at them, I said, I said, "Are these made out of silver?" He said, "Yeah, 35% silver." I said, "No way." I said, "Can I keep one?" He said, yeah. I said, are they expensive? He said, they're pretty pricey, bro. He said, but you can have one. I don't mind. And I liked it because it was silver. Not for my silver collection, but more for my knowledge of, wow, that's crazy to see silver getting used in a house today. You would think they would have came up with cheaper ways, but they haven't, because silver has that bacterial properties that kind of they like to use on water pipes. Silver acts as a catalyst in chemical production for products like plastics, adhesives, and antifreezes. Engine bearings, silver-plated steel balls bearings are used in jets and helicopters' engines to withstand high temperatures. So thermodynamic properties of silver are extremely important. And here's the thing. People don't care what the price is of silver in the grand scheme of things. Water purification, household appliances, mirrors, windows. I mean, this list just goes on and on. Taking a quick look, I was curious the breakdown of this. In 2024, 710 million ounces were used in industrial demand. 211 in jewelry, million ounces in jewelry. 58 million ounces in silverware and silverware applications, I should say, trays, that type of stuff, cake cutting, whatever. I think that's a little high, but I mean, that's what it says it is. I only think that's high because I think the population that actually buy true silverware now, I'll be honest, I just use plastic half the time. I have metal silverware, but I have metal utensils. But a lot of times nowadays, I just use silverware just because plasticware, I should say, because I can just toss it after. A lot of times restaurants will throw them in a bag, and that's it. And sometimes they'll add 2 packs or 3 packs if you're buying a bunch of food and they think it's for more than one person. I don't know why they would think it's more than one person. It's just for me, but that just goes to show I got a big appetite. And a lot of times I'll bust it open and it will have a fork, spoon, knife, and I might only use the fork, which means that knife I'll just kind of throw in a little box or a drawer and then use it later. Investments, 212 million. The demand is going up for this stuff. As you can see, if you compare it to 2015, industrial demand has had a huge jump. Jewelry, not as much of a jump, but I think that will start to increase more because gold has been outpriced. Silverware, it's showing almost the same. I would think it would have gone down, but who knows? And investment, they're actually showing investment demand down. I don't think investment demand is down. I think with the short contracts that are out there, it makes it look like people are betting against silver, and that's what's driving the price down for a while in 2024. But we have seen it go up drastically. And maybe someone might argue that because prices are higher, the demand for rounds and bars has gone down. Personally, I think the demand is rising on all the fronts. But who knows? As I was reading through different stuff, I did see photography. Although it has declined with the rise of digital technology, silver is still used in some photography applications today. I didn't know that. I wish I may have to dig a little bit more into that because I'm kind of curious. I wanted to know, though, since you always hear about solar panels, I wanted to target in a little bit on solar panels. And I had asked AI, is the solar panel industry growing, or have we hit a peak yet? I mean, how many times do I hear solar panels, solar panels, solar panels? You see some of these huge companies that their whole buildings run off solar panels. You see countries that are moving to huge solar arrays and just advancing in solar technology, specifically China, India. A lot of these countries are looking for green energy. They're looking for cheaper energy. And yes, the use of solar panels is growing significantly worldwide and in the United States, driven by record capacity additions, increasing installations, and growing market share in new power generation. Projections show this trend will continue, with solar expecting to become the largest source of electrical generation in on the U.S. grid by 2050. So if solar panels are going to grow in demand, it makes sense that the demand for the silver that's used in these solar panels is going to grow too. A lot of people think right now silver's at $50 and it's overpriced and it can only come down. I think it can only go up. Do I think we could have pullbacks? Yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. But we're seeing a pullback. Some people won't say it's a pullback. They'll say, the truth, it's consolidation. It's market manipulation. And I think that's actually great answers. But you have to understand, if the items that we're using silver to build is increasing in demand, then naturally the items to build those items will increase in demand as well. The building blocks, the commodities. If cotton shirts were to get more expensive, it's naturally makes sense to believe that cotton will be more expensive. Excuse me. Catching a cold. I've been getting sore throats off and on. I don't know what it is. Record capacity additions. The U.S. added record 37 gigawatts, I'm thinking, of solar capacity in 2024. And the EIA expects this drive most of the growth U.S. renewable capacity additions in 25 and 26. Increased market share. Accelerated installation growth, global growth, long-term projections. Silver is expected to become the largest source of generating capacity for the United States grid by 2050. This was just some pictures. I was looking for a really good chart. People like to see visuals. The problem with a lot of these charts that I found is a lot of them are just outdated. The photos, the images. Let's take a look at this one real quick and see what it is. It just they made these charts up years ago. Taking a quick look at the last thing that I want to talk about. Are they testing batteries made with silver? So this is something that I've been hearing a lot about over the last year. Yes, numerous entities are testing batteries made with silver, particularly in development of next generation electric vehicles, EV batteries. Research is focused on using silver to improve the performance, the durability, and energy density by preventing dendrite formation. I don't know what that is. Which can cause batteries to fail. Notable examples include efforts from companies like Samsung and research institutes like Korea. I don't know if that's said that way. And the U.S. So here's the thing. I think eventually they are going to come up with a better battery. Everything uses batteries, whether it's your cell phones, your laptops, your vehicles, and many new items when you think about it. I mean, I'm seeing lawnmowers now. They want you to use battery-operated lawnmowers in some places like California. It's getting harder to even find these old, what do they call them, two-cycle engine, I don't know, lawnmowers, the mechanical lawnmowers. But power tools, a lot of people when they're doing work on houses, it's easier for them to just use a battery operated, what's that yellow one that everybody uses? Not Black & Decker. What's the yellow? It's black and yellow. Everybody uses it. I can't remember the name of the company. DeWalt. Everybody uses DeWalt. But you think about it. These things are just everybody using them. And if the batteries are going to go out, if they're going to take a while to charge, people don't have time. Everybody's in a rush nowadays for everything. I think eventually we're going to see batteries start using silver. And when that day comes, it's going to be like platinum was when they came out with the catalytic converter. All of a sudden, the demand for it just skyrocketed. And that will be it. Silver, looking at silver, I mean, some people have said, does silver even deserve to be a precious metal? So think about this for a minute. Your precious metals that a lot of people talk about: gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Now, I will say there's other metals that are very important, like copper, nickel. However, when you think of silver, it's usually the second metal mentioned in most conversation. Just like I mentioned it: gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Why did I say it in that order? Demand for silver is increasing. However, look at the price of it. It's still dirt cheap. You can buy 85 ounces of silver right now, or at least the last time I looked, for the price of 1 ounce of gold. 85 ounces. It amazes me that people still buy gold. And I pick up gold now and then if it's a good deal. I'm not going to pay a big premium for gold. I'm kind of trying to shift most of my purchases now into silver. Did I miss the boat? I don't think so. I really don't. I know some people have asked me, dude, the time to have bought in silver when it was 125 to 1. That was when you should have been buying silver. Now you want to buy it at 85 to 1? I still think the demand's there, but this is just my opinion. And I have to always say it's my opinion because of all the frivolous people out there that might try to pin a lawsuit on somebody. Oh, hey, he said it was going to do this. That's why I'm an entertainment channel. YouTube has me labeled as entertainment. Right now, there's a huge lawsuit going against some of the big YouTubers, including JM Bullion. They've been, I guess, advertising for a long time the cheapest prices or the lowest prices. And now someone has started a class action suit, I guess you can call it, against them and a lot of these people that have been pushing for SD Bullion. That's why I'm not a big fan of taking sponsorships. I hear these channels saying they don't get paid for it. I've actually had a company reach out to me in the past and said that if I would send clients their way, they would kick back cheaper, make my purchases even cheaper in the form of lower price silver. I don't know what the deal is with a lot of these channels getting sponsored. I can't imagine a YouTuber putting themselves out there for nothing, because they are putting themselves out there by representing specific companies. I think it's sad that somebody would say the lowest prices in the industry and someone would hold them to that, I guess you can say. I mean, because the truth of the matter is, I've told you guys time and time again, shop around for your silver. I myself got tied up with, Provident Metals when I first started stacking. They were the only company I knew. They were the first company I found. I bought and bought and bought and bought. It wasn't until something happened and I got burned, a small burn, not even a major one. I've told this story before where I was just buying tubes and tubes of silver, and then one of my friends happened to get this really cool box, a monster box, to put all of his tubes in, and I was like, I want one. And so I called them up and I said, hey, I've been buying from you all these ounces and I didn't get a box. And I was kind of disappointed, and that made me shop around. And then when I shopped around, I found out, darn, there's some good deals out there. Now, to this day, I tell you guys, look for the lowest prices. It's not always going to be the same person. Pull up 5 websites or a bunch of different sources, check them, go with the best deal. I would not put eBay as one of the choices. Unfortunately, there's a lot of scams on eBay. I could go on eBay right now and find 1 ounce or what they claim to be 1 ounce silver bars for about $10 a piece. But they claim it to be silver. It's not silver. Once you get it, it tests fake. You got to fight, do the runaround. Some people, if they're buying 1 or 2, are they going to bother, or are they just going to chalk it up as a loss? A lot to think about on that. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up here. I hope this gave you guys a lot to think about. If you've made it this far, I hope you hit that subscribe button. We are trying to grow the channel, and I can't thank you enough. Please, also, if you would, hit that thumbs up button. And with that being said, we're going to wrap up here. Be sure to, if you get a minute, check out some of these other great videos. We do post videos up every Monday through Friday. Every Monday through Saturday. The only day we don't put them up is on Sunday. And if you're new to the channel, oh my word, you have a lot of content you can watch with over 2,500 videos up. It doesn't matter what your question is. I've done a video probably on it. At least I believe I have. So who knows? We'll see what happens. And I think there's a lot of good information on the channel, so hopefully you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow it. Share the video. Tell a friend. Any of your friends or relatives that have been dissing you, telling you silver's never going to go to 30, it's never going to go to 50, it's never going to go to 100. I mean, will it take time? Yeah, it will take time. It will take the time for them to acquire the majority stake in silver. Once they hold the majority, once all these weak hands have been shaken out because they bought at 20 and now it's at 48, then we'll see it go up. Once they've given up, and then they're going to feel horrible that they got out, that they gave up their position too soon in the game. Not to mention the value of the dollar continuing to get debased on a regular basis. It only makes sense that everything will continue to go up, in my opinion. Not financial advice. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Not super long, 30 minutes. Thank you all. Check out some of these other great videos, and I will see you again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Until tomorrow. Bye-bye.